Wait a minute. You're telling me that this girl, Haru, is going to be revived. The same girl that has been killing off so many ghouls. The same girl that actually has a novel sharing other characters that surprises me because she's still dead at this moment. The same girl that has been treated gently by Ishida with her own birthday picture. The same girl that even has a fan service like it's supposed to compel.
2 hours later.
And you telling me you're going to revive her? Ishida, you're the best! Oh my god, yes! Oh yes! Furuta, you're the coolest guy ever! You just did the impossible! This is the greatest gift of all time! Yeah, I'm a fan of hers. After a chapter taking place in one setting, the series returns to the normal method of multiple conversation with a lot of developments. The chapter is hinting more on the next arc's focus, and it doesn't look pretty. Instead of the single emotional roller coaster ride, we are treated with more emotional moments, more thrills, and the ending that leaves you feeling surprisingly good, spirited. Who knew? I thought Kaneki would keep having conversation with everyone at the rooftop. I saw a potential of a running joke from the fans. That said, he was actually watching videos in another location, but not without confronting Akira one more time. Unlike the last chapter, this would take more time to comprehend. The segment is wonderfully done. Akira may understand further about the nature of living, yet still can't really accept Kaneki entirely. It's only because he's no longer Sasaki. What I like a lot is how it's not simple as one would expect. Rather, she acknowledges that names and titles are practically a symbol, and because Sasaki is no longer there, she don't feel connected to his future. It elaborates on how important a name and title can carry in today's society. Much like classifying a ghoul equals evil, people are tainted with the thought of symbol. If a beloved hero dies, people will panic. If a homeless person dies, the reaction won't be anywhere near as the former. Akira cherished Sasaki, and it's a bit heartbreaking that Kaneki can't argue about it. Even if he still retains those memories, it won't mean much based on society. A great moment is the farewell scene with the good old punch to the gut by Akira. I laughed, but I realized that it looked familiar. Thanks to one pose. I believe it was in chapter 2 of Red. I remember that is the exact same page format. Every panel is exactly the same, just the illustration isn't. That said, it's a great contrast that tells a story sublime. It tops it with Kaneki announces that he's alone, and Akira feels the same. That's why they could connect like a family. As one relationship somewhat made up for the past conversation, Amon is next, and it's another tender moment of moving forward. Thank you, Toka and Hinami. It's a bit sad when Akira acts like normal, inviting him for a curry, but we know it's hard to capture the past. After the hug scene, it was hard for Akira to think of what's next. Now that she's thinking independently, she still remains lost. Amon finally man up, and everything he has experienced can sync well with her problems, including losing the pride of CCG. Amon is always like an encouraging guy. It's always fitting for him to talk about never giving up, even in the darkest hour. The highlight is the end scene, and yes, it's finally canon. The ship has set sail. Akira still needs help after all of that, so Amon goes all the way by loudly saying that he will support her. That's a clear sign of confession. Much like when they say, "I will protect you." It's evident with Akira saying not to dodge again, referring to the last time that he dodged the kiss scene. If you had shipping goggles on, you're probably watching this in heaven. All in all, it's a sublime segment. After feeling kind, we are gifted with a heartwarming scene with the Q Squad. At first, it's more about discussing if Sasaki did die or not, only for Suzuya to object that and brings in a convincing evidence. Odd, because I didn't even think of Uta's work in motion. I have no idea how that obvious thought bypassed me. It's heartwarming when Saiko, the sweet angel she is, heard that Sasaki isn't dead and begins to tear with joy. Urie's smile actually makes it better. I'm not sure this is telling that deep down they don't want Sasaki dead, but this is still heartwarming. I mean, I know Saiko don't want him dead, but it may be the same for Urii. Despite his hardship, the whole group is like the remains of the real CCG, so hopefully this will hint for rebellion. Speaking of real CCG, we get more insight of Furuta, and oh boy, I have a mixed feeling in a good way. This continues to raise the questionable path now that Kanu, out of all people, is with Furuta, casually no less. I almost wanted to stab my screen. I don't care if I had to pay another $500, $600 for it. I just hate this guy. It's unbelievable that Furuta would come with a bullshit excuse that Kanu was held hostage at Ogiri, so it's cool to have him around. Bullshit. The shocking part is the revelation of what Furuta was building up about Noro and the updated research. Urii finally had enough of his bullshit and tell him how it is. Then Furuta brings out my personal markout moment when he brings a jar of head. Markout is a wrestling terminology for cheers. Even if you know by the intro, you could imagine how excited I was when I saw this moment. No joke. I felt like they announced my team receives gold. The next panel is like announcement of my team is going to the nationals. Furuta has a plan to revive Haru. That's right, Haru. Okay, let me go personal for a moment. I honestly held this idea of her revival ever since the moment where Ogiri stole trucks of bodies, but it was so low on that possibility. I thought of this because I always thought she had potential until she was killed. Now that she may be revived, it shockingly has a lot more so than ever. A world without Arima is asking for depression and anger. I guess my hope went up when Ishida continues to show respect to her, even after her death. I didn't understand why, but something was up. Hell, even her birthday was celebrated by him. Why? Now I know. And I can only squeal like an idiot. I don't care. Arigato sensei! The chapter is filled with a great visual of emotional expressions and they all address well. Watching Kaneki and Akira sharing the same sad feeling was pretty touchy. Same world, same feelings. It does pick up in a sincere way with Alma, and both of them share the love that has been waiting for a while. Furuta has always shown the same expression of a normal guy until that despicable look appears when taunting against Urii, who looks devastated. Is ethic or love? Personally, I'll go with love because, you know, hell with pride. Bottom line, it ironically does signify that the latter is the right choice, even if it's done by that asshole. Before the ending, there's that one frightening moment that gives me an eerie feeling, which may be a hint of the next arc focus. Musuki sees the picture of Yoriko and the small sighting of Toka. Musuki has a strong feeling that she knows who, and that is troubling. It didn't help that Toka went back to her old look. Granted, she looks great, but bad timing much? This chapter didn't end there. Oh no. Instead, it ends at a really funny moment. Toka practically asks Kaneki if he's a virgin. Yes, that's how the chapter ended. It's even more hilarious with the coffee pouring down. What a waste. So, is our hype relies on his virginity? Ishida's sense of humor is something else. I like it. The chapter is filled with plenty of great heartfelt moments, with more developments that can lead to something great and danger. The last remaining good CCG begins to give a rebellion sign as Urii is put to the test that challenges his ethics. But hey, it ended with a hilarious moment that seriously has me hyped. I don't know how that works. Not that I want to know his sex life. Did I just say that? To shipping fans, leave your goggles behind because this might be a doozy. I'm giving this chapter a 9. About the revival, I don't think it's gonna go that insane. I don't think that will work, especially you need a body, so it makes sense that you need a body in order to revive them, to reanimate them, whatever you want to call them. I think it's only going to limit to a very, very, very little count, and that's okay by me. A lot of series do this revival storyline. It's just a matter of how much are you going to do so. I'm just glad she's going to be revived. I'm guaranteed she's going to be revived. The only question remains, just how well she's going to be. That remains to be seen. What are your thoughts of this chapter? Are you really, really, really hyped to see what's the answer that Kaneki will reply with? Is it yes or no? I don't even understand how this is a actual cliffhanger for all of us. Obviously, the real cliffhanger is whatever Toka's going with this idea of virginity. I don't even understand how this is like. I can't believe this is happening. It does fit the tone with her and the whole Ishida's sense of comedy. And it seems like he's really going out of his way to imply something that could be scary. Especially we have Musuki knowing that she may get the idea that Toka is a ghoul and this is where she's going to aim for. And we know she's aiming for a kill. We have to wait and see. And that will do it for today's review. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe to my channel, and my world will be yours to stay. Until next time, take care. Woo! She's back!